Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 812 and today's topic is the classification of explosives. And nowadays I am discussing on explosives. When we are classifying the explosives, it is mainly grouped into three. One is called chemical explosives, second one is called atomic explosive, and third one is called mechanical explosives. Chemical explosives are based on mainly chemical reactions and where some chemical compounds are synthesized like your nitroglycerin, TNT, trinitrotoluene, dynamite, and also RDX, like that, and they are sometimes very sensitive and very explosive, and sometimes they are stable. It depends upon the type of chemical and its stabilizing agent. The second is called, that is atomic explosives, and atomic explosive is also known as nuclear explosion. Means in the case of atomic explosives, the nucleus of the atom is involved. It is a nuclear reaction. There in chemical explosives, chemical reactions are involved. And I have already discussed in detail about the chemical reaction and nuclear reaction. In the case of chemical reaction, the identity of reactant and product, they are maintained. What atom is there during reactant, like sodium, after reaction one product is there, the sodium will remain sodium, chlorine will remain chlorine. But in the case of nuclear reaction, there will be formation of new atoms, and here splitting of nucleus will be there, and it is of two types, nuclear explosives. One is by fission, other one is by fusion. Either two like nuclei, they will fuse together, like two hydrogen will fuse and there will be formation of helium, or uranium-235 will be splitted into krypton and barium. That I have already discussed. That is about atomic explosive. And this atomic explosive became very popular after 1945 when it was dropped at Nagasaki, Hiroshima in Japan. American, they use this nuclear explosive for that purpose, and it is so effective that there is spontaneous killing of thousands of the people. So it became so popular, means for destructive purpose, not for constructive purpose. Means at a time, within minute, we can kill thousands. In the case of gun and bullet, we cannot kill at a time. You can kill one or two by aiming. But here explosion nuclear means at a time. But nowadays there is positive aspect of nuclear energy also, which is used in our production of electricity in turbine, nuclear turbine, and also this energy is used for different commercial purpose. It's not only for destructive. And the third one, that is called mechanical explosive. Mechanical explosive means sometimes once it is overloaded or under high pressure of air, some materials are taken, and that explosive, when the air pressure is released, it can explode, and that is actually called mechanical explosive. And this explosive can be used for commercial, industrial, and as well as for destructive purpose in war. So here mainly I am concerned today is with chemical explosives. So when we are taking chemical explosives, it is again divided into two. One is called chemical high explosive, other one is called chemical low explosive. The chemical high explosive, they are sensitive and they are dangerous in handling, because at any time they can explode, and they are mostly the salts of inorganic compounds, and these inorganic compounds may be that either zinc, aluminum, mercury, salts, and the second one that is called your low explosive. Low explosives, they are actually derivatives of nitrate of organic compounds like metadinitrobenzene, trinitrotoluene, and also some trinitroglycerine, and also your cellulose, nitrocellulose. These are all your secondary explosive. And then next one, that is your low explosive. High explosive, that is chemical, and that high explosive is in primary and secondary explosives. And the second one is low explosive. Actually, low explosives, they don't catch fire. They are propellant and they are detonated, and they are used to prepare artilleries and cartridge bullet to use in gun mainly. And they are again divided into two. One is for military purpose and the other one is for our industrial and commercial purpose. And for military purpose is mainly gunpowder, black powder, and trinitrocellulose, trinitroglycerine, they are all used. And that is also for military purpose we are using RDX and some other nitro compounds. And for commercial purpose, for industrial purpose, we are using dynamite. We are using trinitroglycerine with different derivatives. That is mainly used to construct the dam, to demolish some building, and also to make some tunnel. So these are all uses. So one by one I am going to give. So here I am discussing mainly the chemical explosives and the high type, low type, and then primary and secondary. The same I have already discussed. So here the classification of explosives. Number one, there are three fundamental types of explosives. I mean, when I am saying three fundamental types means A is chemical explosives, B is atomic explosives, and C is mechanical explosives. And I have already told you about these three explosives. And the chemical explosives are of two types. Here I am concerned with mainly chemical explosives today. So these chemical explosives are mainly of two types. One is high explosive, that is called detonating, and the second one is called low explosives or deflagrating. So detonating and deflagrating means high explosive and low explosive. Number two, the high explosives are further divided into two classes. The one class is called primary explosive and the second one is called secondary explosives. So the A is primary explosives and B is secondary explosives. So A is, that is primary explosives, or we may call it that is initiating explosive. Either you call it primary explosives or initiating explosives. Means these primary explosives, they are very sensitive, unstable, and they are taken in small quantity just to initiate the big explosion for big quantity. That's why it is also known as initiating explosives. These primary explosives are also called detonators and are very sensitive and may be exploded by means of even slight blow, slight shaking, and that is enough to make it to explode. They are very dangerous to handle. They are very dangerous, and we have to be extra careful in handling primary explosives. Handled and used in comparatively small amounts to initiate the chemical explosion of the large quantities of the less sensitive explosives. So this one is used to ignite, or we can say to initiate the explosive in large quantities of the less sensitive explosives. These are usually the inorganic salts and used in the detonators. And these inorganic salts, mainly the primary explosives, are number one, that is called lead azide. Lead is there in the form of salt. Number two is mercury fulminate diazonitrophenol. So mercury fulminate nitrophenol is another primary explosive, and the third one is nitromaniate, and nitromaniate is also primary explosive, and these are all the inorganic salts. So one is that was primary explosive, and this one is secondary explosive. I am discussing, means it is not that much sensitive like primary one. It can absorb shock, and it is insensitive, and it is more stable as compared to first one, and it is not that much dangerous. So the B is secondary high chemical explosives. These explosives are quite insensitive. They are not sensitive like primary one, and also they are not that much dangerous to flame and mechanical shock. They explode violently by means of detonation. Actually, once they are detonated, on the basis of detonation, they are very much violent explosive, and which is a rapid chemical destruction progressing directly through the mass of explosive. These are examples: TNT, trinitrotoluene, picric acid, and dinitroamines. So TNT, picric acid, dinitroamines, they are the best example, and actually these are the secondary chemical explosives. They are organic derivatives, nitro compounds, and these organic nitro compounds, they are very explosive and dangerous in terms of its heat, evolution, and smoke. So most of your very effective explosives are organic base. And I have already told you about the inorganic base where mercury, zinc, and lead salts are there. As compared to that, this one is more effective. And these are organic materials and most explosive and effective. Now the number 2 one. That one was your high explosive. Under that high chemical explosive, I have discussed all those. Now the second one is called low explosive, because only 2 type of chemical explosives are there when it is divided. One is high explosive, second one is low explosive. And again, high explosive is divided into primary and secondaries. That I have already discussed. So the number 2 is called low explosives, and in other words we also call it deflagrating. So the low explosives are also called propellant, which is very common this name propellants, especially in military use. So these propellants, they only burn and do not explode. They are not explosive. They only burn and they do not explode, and they are mainly used in the manufacture of cartridges, bullets, and they are used in rifle and pistol, revolver as a bullet. In the cases of rifle and pistols, etc. Examples of low explosives are colloidal cellulose nitrate. You know the cellulose nitrate, I have already told you in the previous lecture that cellulose means they are carbohydrates which are containing carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and once their hydroxy group is converted into nitrate by nitrating it with the help of nitrating mixture, and that nitrating mixture is nothing but the mixture of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid, which is capable of providing a nitronium ion NO2 group, and that your OH will be changed into NO2 group, that is called nitrocellulose or trinitrocellulose, that is colloidal substance. That is your actually low explosive, and they are colloidal nitrate, and they are actually smokeless powder, nitrocotton and dinitro-toluene and black powder. These are all your low explosive. Number 3, explosives may be again classified into 2 classes. One is for military purpose and other one is for industrial purpose, commercial purpose, social purpose. And let me tell you, it happened in 2005. I was teaching this topic, explosive. So I gave some hint to my student that how to prepare this cartilage and bullet and artillery, all these things. And then with that hint, what I am teaching, they got enough information, scientific information and chemistry knowledge. So rest of the thing they searched on Google and other social media, and they tried to construct the explosive. And the very interesting thing happened that they were caught by military people, and they asked that from where you got this knowledge of explosives. Let me tell you, if I am teaching, I am not going to teach military explosive, because this branch of chemistry what I am teaching, that is for toxic chemicals and explosive chemicals, and all chemistry students, they must know, they must understand, and if they are failing to know all these chemicals, their knowledge is incomplete. It's part of chemistry. That's why in my lab I give them to synthesize lot of organic explosives. Try nitrobenzene, dinitrobenzene, TNT, all these. They should know. They should have practical experience of synthesizing them, their crystal, their color, everything. The only thing, once it is used for military purpose, that is for its packing and its strength. That is different technique. So I did not teach that one. Anyway, so military journals came from Kaduna. At that time, one vice chancellor was there. I will not mention the name, and even I will not mention the name of military general who came. And I was called by the vice chancellor that the students, those who were involved in manufacturing of the explosives and chemical bomb, we can say, not atomic bomb, they are arrested, and military general is here to query you, to question you. I was summoned. Then I went. I said, yeah, it is I who is teaching, and it is the part of our chemistry course. They must know it. And not only that, they are doing the synthesis of nitro, all the nitro compounds, organic ones, in the lab in part 4 as a BSc honors chemistry student. Any problem? Then the military general, he said, no, No problem is that some of 4 or 5 students of your university of Maiduguri, and they were doing all these things, and they are well known, they know all this, and they tried all this. I said they can try anything, but I am not teaching. I don't have license, because for military explosive, once I am lecturing, I must have the license to deliver the lecture to military people. I am delivering the lecture to civilians, and for civilians it is the part of our course content in any university, in any part of the world, to synthesize nitroorganic compounds, and they should know that they are good explosive. They should know that what are the toxic chemicals is part of our course content. Then he was satisfied. He said, Professor Khan, thank you very much. It's very clear to us. So that's why, sometimes when the people are having limited knowledge of chemistry or science, they take it in other way. And I will not hesitate to teach with open mind A to Z chemistry. Chemistry is used in medicine. Chemistry is used in textile industry. Chemistry is used in military weapons. Chemistry is used to produce the chemical toxic compounds. Also as a pesticide, as an insecticide. For every purpose chemistry is used. Either you can use to destroy the world, or you can use to construct the world. It goes up to you. It's your option. So that is what very interesting thing I told you. So that is the explosives may also be classified into military. So military portion means how to pack, how to detonate, how to know its strength by digging inside the ground and then measuring. That thing I know I can teach, but that is under military explosive, and that is taught only when I am given license. So I am not going to touch that thing, but students should know that there are 2 types of explosive. One is for military purpose, to kill, to use this explosive spontaneously to kill dozens at a time, rather than killing by bullet. So that is for military purpose. And the second one, explosive are those used for military purpose, and they are, so what explosive we are using for military purpose, mostly they are organic nitro compounds, nitro derivatives, and they are TNT, trinitrotoluene, EDNA, RDX. RDX is very well known explosive, and in most of the cases, terrorists and other people who are having excess of RDX, they are using for that purpose. And the third one is that HMX and also nitrocellulose. And I am going to discuss each one of them, TNT, EDNA, RDS, all these things, their detailed manufacture and their detailed chemistry, but I will never teach packing and its strength. That is for military purpose. So here with this I will stop. In the next lecture I am going to discuss little more detail of military and industrial explosives. So once again, thank you very much for watching the lecture.